Alright, today we have a 15-minute hip opening practice. So a lot of the times our emotions are stored in our hips, so that's one of the benefits of doing a little hip opener. So especially as women, we tend to get a little tighter in our hips. So we're going to go through a little practice today, and I'm going to have you guys starting seated on your mats. So go ahead and just find a comfortable, easy seated position. If you want, you can have a blanket, put it underneath your hips just to give them a little bit of a tilt. Once you've found your comfortable seated position, go ahead and take your hands down. Palms can be faced down if you need a little bit more grounding in your life. Palms up if you need a little bit more energy today. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Now I want you guys to focus on is taking a nice deep inhale through that nose and open mouth exhale out through the mouth. Taking another deep inhale through that nose. Open mouth exhale through the mouth. Settling down, giving our breath away. Finding that body of the day. Now on the next inhale, I want you to take a nice deep breath all the way up to the chest cavity. Exhale it out. And as you exhale, I want you guys to think of a ruby red root coming down through your sits bones. Down through the grass, round through the sidewalk, through the red clay, seeing those ruby red roots going very far, very deep, very wide. And then on your inhale, I want you to envision a light, whatever light color comes to you. See yourself pulling that light up through those roots, coming back up through the base of the spine, along the spinal column, and seeing that light showering out through your head and down throughout your body. I want you guys to do that a few more times, whatever light comes to you. But first, seeing that ruby red light coming down again, grounding you down through the floorboards, through the dirt, through the red clay, attaching to the center of the earth. And then inhaling whatever light comes back up through those roots, back through your spine, and seeing it showering over your body. And then taking another deep inhale, and then just open mouth exhale, releasing that. Go ahead and bow that chin to the chest. Flutter those eyes open. And then you can start by dropping that right ear down to that right shoulder. Taking an exhale back to center, inhale, hold, exhale to the other side. Getting a nice stretch in the side of the neck, side of the body. And then inhaling it back to center. All right, we're going to go ahead and come to all fours now. So placing those shoulders and wrists, elbows in one straight line. I'm going to take a few cat-cows here. So inhale, letting that belly sink, gaze is up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding up. Inhale, gaze is up. Exhale, rounding through that spine, really pushing those vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time. Taking a few more on your own pace. And then on your next one, as we come up through that cat back, I want you guys to push yourselves back into a child's pose. Knees are going to come out wide. Arms are straight out in front of you. Taking a few breaths here. And then exhale, coming back to all fours. All right, go ahead and curl those toes under, pushing it back to a down dog. Hips are up high to the sky, pedaling those feet out. This is our first one of the day. One heel down, then the other. And then finding stillness. As you're in your down dog, you're trying to lift those hips up to the sky. Inward spiral those arms, curling those biceps in, letting that head hang down. Taking an inhale, exhale, look between the hands, slowly walk your feet up behind your wrist. And then forward fold, letting that head hang down, bending your knees as much as you need. And then halfway lift, coming to that flat back. And forward fold. And then pushing through those heels, rising all the way up to stand. Bringing those hands up through heart center and resting down. All right, so we're gonna get into a few standing postures. So we're gonna start now, taking that right leg to the top of the mat, putting a bend into that right knee. That front heel is aligned with that back arch. Arms are coming up into warrior two. So our gaze is down that middle finger. So nice and open here. As we're doing this, we're trying to make sure that knee is aligned with that second toe. So we're not collapsed in or moving that knee too far out. We're tracking right along with that toe. Taking a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, straighten that front leg. And we're gonna go into triangle. So reach yourself forwards, tip forwards, and then dropping that hand right where it is. You should not be reaching towards the floor if you're collapsing through that side body. And that back arm is gonna come up. Now, as we're here, we're in one straight line. I want you guys to take your hand to your rib cage, spiral open the chest even more. It's gonna cause your arm to come up just a little bit, and that's okay. And we're gonna reach up through those arms, keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then to come out of it, I want you to pretend someone's grabbing that wrist and lifting you up. And then coming back to center, putting a bend into that front knee, back to warrior two. Go ahead and take an inhale, exhale, taking it back, reverse warrior, taking that back arm down, right arm is up overhead, feeling that stretch in the opposite side body now. Taking a deep inhale, and exhale back to warrior two. And then as your gaze is forwards, I want you to take a nice deep exhale, stepping to the top of the mat, bringing that foot up, using that right glute to help pull you up. Good. Now from here, I want you guys to step back with that right foot. Left leg is going forwards. I'm going to switch sides of my mat so you guys can see me. And we're coming into warrior two on the left side this time. So again, making sure our shoulders are right above our hips. Our front heel is aligned with our back arch. And our gaze is down that middle finger. So taking a few deep breaths here. And then exhale, straightening that front leg out. And go ahead and inhale, exhale, pulling forwards like you're going to reach towards that wall. And then dropping that hand, lifting that top arm up. Now again, take your hands to that rib cage, spiral open towards the sky. And gaze can be up, straight, or down, whatever feels best on your neck. Feeling that expansion of that rib cage with every exhale. On your next exhale, pretend someone's grabbing that wrist, pulling you up, bringing you back to that warrior two, putting a bend into that front knee, and taking it back to reverse warrior, taking that right arm down, left arm up to the sky, feeling that openness in that side body. And then exhaling it back to center, and then go ahead and step to the top of your mat. Very good. All right, we're gonna go into a little bit of a dancer pose. So it's a little balance pose now. So I want you guys to root down through that left foot. Go ahead and put a bend into your right knee. Take your left arm out to the side. Go ahead and grab that inner arch of that right foot. Left arm is gonna go straight up to the sky. Now from here, I want you guys to tip forward. So this might be where some of you stay. So this could be bus stop number one. Bus stop number two, tipping forwards, and you could stay here. Bus stop number three is tipping a little bit more forwards and coming all the way out. Now you're opening up through that back quad, and your gaze is something, we call it a drishti, so something that's not moving in front of you. If you fall out of the pose, just simply come right back into it. That's part of the fun of yoga, flowing in and out. Taking one more in here. And exhale it back up to center. And dropping that foot. All right, let's switch sides. So putting a bend into that left knee, taking that left arm out to the side, Right arm up. Go ahead and grab that inner arch. Taking that all the way up. This can be, again, bus stop number 1. Bus stop number 2, tipping a little bit more forwards. And then bus stop 3, really kicking into that hand. So if I let go of my foot, my foot should fly because I'm kicking so hard. Also falling over if you kick really hard. So you're coming back into it. Feeling that openness. Taking a few more breaths here. And then slowly coming back down to center. All right, so for here, I want you guys to go ahead and step to the top of your mat. Go ahead and take your arms all the way up and forward fold it down. Halfway lift, forward fold, stepping it back to a plank position. Go ahead and drop those knees down. And then we're gonna go into a couple hip openers. So I like to do a little bit of warm up before we go into these deep hip openers. So our first one is pigeon pose. So you can get into it by coming back to a down dog. Taking that right leg high to the sky. Bring that right knee behind that right wrist. Taking that left ankle behind the left wrist. Straightening out the back leg. All right, so now we're into pigeon. This is bus stop number 1. So you can stay here, or you can go ahead and go down to those forearms. If this still feels good, you can go all the way out, straightening those arms out, dropping that forehead down. As you're in this pose, if you've realized you went a little too deep, you can always come back out a step and stay there. So these poses are yin. I like to hold them a little bit longer because the more you hold these, the more openness you're going to get. So the more we're going to get into that hip and get into that fascia, which is that protective sheath that kind of is in our joints. So this is what tends to get stiff. So this is why we're getting in there, getting it loose. Now in yoga, we also say we hold emotions in our hips. That's also something that we're kind of getting rid of or moving around in our body. So a lot of yoga is about moving our energy and moving our energy channels. And so that's why when you leave class, you're like, wow, this feels amazing. A lot of the times that's what you did. You rewired some of that energy going on in your body. So we're gonna take one more breath on this side. And then exhale, go ahead and push up to your hands. Curl that back toe under and pushing it back to a down dog. You can shake those hips out, moving it side to side. And then go ahead and take that other leg, that left leg up high to the sky, bringing it up and through, coming into pigeon pose on this side. Now again, bus stop number 1 is here. Trying to keep those hips even. If you feel any pressure on the knee, then you have to back out of it or decide on if that's too much for you. Taking those hands, walking them down, or taking them all the way straight. Now, if pigeon pose does not feel good whatsoever, a modification for that is just simply coming to a seated position and bringing that knee across. So that is also always an option if it gets too intense in pigeon. This is your modification. Otherwise, we're hanging out here in our pigeon pose. With every exhale, releasing any of that tension. Exhale, coming back up, and then go ahead and push back to the down. All right, go ahead and drop down to the knees. Now, with this one, I want you guys to start on your knees. So you're gonna start here. You're gonna take your right leg down. So you're gonna sit on that right glute. You're gonna take that left leg up and over. So option is to hold your knees just like this. Another option is bringing that knee or bringing that foot down and trying to stack those knees on top of each other. So right through here, we're really getting to those hips. And this is depending again on where you're at. If this is still too intense and your knee up, you can always back out of it and just kind of go what feels good to your body. So we're gonna hold here a few breaths. Opening up those hips. Trying to keep both hips onto the mat. That's also the other hard part, is sinking both sides so we're not tilted to one side. Just taking a few more breaths here. Then go ahead and exhale, we'll release that side. left knee, I'm going to simply switch sides, taking that right knee up and over, stacking those knees, putting that foot to wherever is even or whatever feels good to you. One side might be a little bit different, so this is the side that's a little bit tighter for me, so I'm kind of slightly modifying to make it a little bit easier. And I'm trying to get my glutes to sit down on the ground. And this is where you also might discover some other tension, like I can feel some in my left quad. So hopefully that's good. Again, a couple more breaths. And then exhale, releasing that. And then we're going to go ahead and roll slowly down onto our back. So you can go ahead and grab behind your knees, slowly lowering it down one vertebrae at a time. Hold those knees into the chest, rocking it side to side. Doing any one last pose that might feel good, maybe a happy baby. Maybe taking a spinal twist, taking your feet out to the sides, dropping them to one side, then the other, finding that spot. And then we're just going to take a couple breaths in Shavasana, so taking those legs straight, palms up to the sky, taking a few breaths here. Then you can either stay here or bringing those palms together, stacking them down at the heart. Namaste.